Hi, so in this video, I'm going to show you how I made the props from my previous video, Trying Candy from Other Dimensions Part 2. So if you haven't seen that video, then go ahead and watch it now. Looks like this. Oh, that's me. It's like this ring of meat. So before I start with the method, normally I like to read out a list of the materials used in the build. First, I often get outside help with this. I don't really need help, but I'm going to do it myself today. So, here's the materials list. First we have some cotton wool, then monster clay, and then liquid latex rubber. This is quite easy actually. Oh, hello. This isn't what it looks like.
Well, it looks like you're reading out materials list.
I just wanted to speed things along.
Oh, slithery snake.
I'm sorry.
Did you do kissy kissy yet?
I wasn't gonna do kissy kissy.
Oh no. You're going to...
Christ, is that a crossbow?
Yes.
Is it made from materials?
Oh no, I bought it. It works. Want to see?
No, it's okay. I'll do kissy kissy.
That's better. Go on.
Okay, so now we've done with the materials, onto the method.
Oh, hello. I'm Will now. I'm so boring. Blah, blah, blah. Use a glue gun some crap. I'm a grown man making puppets. Make a puppet. Oh, I make this puppet. Oh, I'm probably going to marry a puppet because I'm a boring weirdo. I love puppets so much. I'm probably going to take one and put it up my anus. Pop it up my anus. And he reads material lists that aren't his. I can't believe you do that. And I don't even take advantage of the supply of liquid latex I have right in front of me. Oh, come here. Oh, kissy kissy. Oh, kissy kissy. Oh, lovely liquid latex. Oh. Whilst Will is busy, I'm going to go and prop build in the other room. Yes. Okay, I go now. Oh, hello, beautiful. Oh, you're so liquidy. And the smell of guinea pig oil is so alluring to me.
So, I started with my little sexy Groyble sketch, and from there, I first designed the plastic parts in Blender and then 3D printed them. So that was the front plate, the knob, the chute and the little flappy trapdoor. Once they were printed, I cleaned them up with the Standing Blade files and then some sandpaper. So then once they were done, I could use them as a sizing guide to sculpt the Groyble around. To begin the Groyble sculpt, I started with this adorable little plasticine potato that I wrapped in kitchen foil. Hello there, little fella. And from there, I used this base to build up the Groyble sculpt in monster clay. Slap. Here we have a sculpted Groyble. So I coated him in a few layers of thickened liquid latex and left him to dry. Now there's actually a very interesting fact about liquid latex that I should probably talk to you about now. You see, when latex is warm, it actually smells just like...
Oh, don't mind me. I didn't think anyone knew I was here. My name? Well, I'm called Gavin, and I'm pretty much responsible for everything that goes on here. I'm the writer, the director, and the editor. No, you're not. What? Yeah. Don't listen to him. He's just a tiny owl person. You're a loser, Gavin. Always trying to take credit for other people's work, you knobhead. Don't act like you do anything. I sometimes do some of the editing. You do not. You're a lying piece of crap, Stephen. I do. You couldn't even reach the mouse button. You're the size of a pixel. Anyway, don't you think we better get back to listening to him? Yeah, I guess he's still talking about some crap.
So, once dry, I coated them up good with some Malcolm's powder. and then cut some openings in the back so I could peel the skin off of the clay. Then I stuffed it with pillow stuffing and began the paint job. So I started with a red wash, then added some skin tone, and then went in with an airbrush to add in some red details around openings and eyes. So I spray painted the plastic components so they would look metal. So I drilled a hole in the back plate so I could fix the little turning knob in there. And then I glued hinges to the flap underneath. So next I checked my glue gun wasn't sentient.
You can't catch me!
It is.
Oh, you can't catch me, son of a bitch!
Can't catch it.
Oh, I'm going.
It's gone.
Bye!
So next I bought a new glue gun, I guess. And I used the glue gun to glue in some polymorph plastic teeth into the mouth of the fella. And then finally glued all the plastic components in place as well. And here we have a finished Groibel.
My groibel, just stick that in my groibel.
Next, we have this little fella. I never actually named him, so for the purposes of this video, let's just call him Porcelain Daniel.
Hey, that's my name.
Your name is Porcelain Daniel.
That's what it says on my birth certificate.
I always thought people called you China Jimmy.
Oh yeah, that's my name. My name is China Jimmy. That's what it says on my birth certificate.
Okay.
As you are.
Okay, so to begin with, I modelled Porcelain Daniel in Blender in 2 parts. Then I exported those 2 parts to the printer, where they were printed. So once printed, I cleaned out the supports from the inside of the 2 parts. And then glued them together with super glue. But he had a seam all the way around, and I wanted him to look like one seamless piece of porcelain. So I filled the seam with green stuff, or epoxy putty. And then once that had dried, I sanded it all down to get a smooth finish. And then I gave him a good spraying of paint to cover up the green stuff. The intention was for his insides to look like an infinite void of darkness, so I got some black 3.0, which is this incredibly matte black paint that supposedly doesn't reflect any light, and I used this to paint the inside, and I think it worked really well. It looks really dark in there. So I initially wanted them to look really smooth, like a sink or a toilet bowl, but I was struggling to get a perfect finish after the 3D printing. So instead, I covered him with Mod Podge and then gave him a wash of grey paint to give him this kind of marble stone-like texture. And actually I really like this more kind of unfinished look. I think it looks cool. Yeah, I really like this guy. So the Vomo wasn't overly complicated. I just had to make 4 different sized meat cocoons that I would slowly vomit out of my mouth in sequence to make it look like one big one was coming out of my mouth. So I just sculpted all the various sizes of meat cocoon out of monster clay. And then coated each of them with multiple layers of liquid latex. And then once dry, I removed the latex skin from the sculpts. Glued up the latex skins and stuffed them with pillow stuffing. Then once stuffed, I could begin the paint job using a mixture of paint washes and airbrushing. And then lastly, I sculpted the inside of the final cocoon that the sweets would be nestled in, out of monster clay, and then latex that, and then once the latex had dried, I peeled that off and painted it again. And then during filming, when I sliced open the final cocoon, I just laid this inside in it in between takes. So the prism candy was mostly a bunch of props I just bought online, but I did have to make the base for it. So I began by building the base in Blender, and then printing it on my printer. Look how good it looks. doesn't fit. I measured it wrong. So I went back to Blender, tweaked it, and printed it again. Then when it was finished, I cleaned up the print, sprayed it silver, and then gave the silver paint a nice black oil paint wash. And then finally, I glued these old VCR parts to the side. And we're finished. So I really enjoyed using the 3D printer in this.
Why? If you ever read the materials list again, the next one will be right here. Okay, I go now.
Okay. Patreon Paul, everyone.
Patreon Paul here with another fresh new Patreon wrap. So I'd like to say thank you to Ectospasm, John Hutchinson, Tordlip, Sawyer isn't here, Han, William Christopher Warren, Trollface, Andrew Hill, Daft Ugly Meat Lumps, and Chacha Yo-Yo. Okay, this was my rap. Thank you for being patrons. Okay, thank you, bye.
Okay, thank you, Paul. That was another fresh wrap. You want to become Patreon? Click the link. Thank you, okay, bye.